Okay, hello, and we're gonna talk some Sonic 2 movie while playing some Sonic 2. Um, Now I'm really hoping the audio is okay, because that's one of those things that I hate testing beforehand. But yeah, we saw the Sonic 2 movie. It came out today in Europe, and we figured it would be fitting to, you know, play Sonic 2 while talking Sonic 2. Wait, how do I go full screen? How do I go full screen in the official SEGA emulator? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Game is okay? Okay, good. Can't hear the game at all on our end. Okay, now I can. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so... God, I didn't realize how quick they move away from the screen. There we go. Okay. So... Sonic 2 movie. We liked it! Right now we're in spoiler-free section. We will give a warning before we go into spoilers, so don't worry about that. We really liked the Sonic 2 movie. Like, I mean, we liked the first Sonic movie as well. Like, it's not perfect, and it was very much a case of you could clearly tell that they didn't have the budget they wanted, and they've admitted this since then as well. Like, it's just a road trip film, which far too many films about like CGI creatures end up being. But we still liked it. We thought that Ben Schwartz did really well as Sonic, and like Jim Carrey worked as Eggman, and we don't really care for the character of Tom, but we thought James Marsters did a good job as well. So, like, the first film was fun. We enjoyed it, and we rewatched it before this one. Yeah, it's a film that's clearly filled with a lot of love for the Sonic franchise, so you can tell that, like, his name Jeff Fowley, that's his name. You can tell that, like, he grew up playing the Sonic games, Like, there's so many little nods to stuff just everywhere. Even like obscure things, like there's, I mean, their decision to like have Sonic be raised by an owl, like that didn't come out of nowhere, like that was from a Europe exclusive Sonic lore manual, basically. I don't remember what it was called now exactly, but because we're not getting any Chaos Emeralds, are we? Need 50 rings for that. But yeah, Sonic being like raised by an owl was from that manual, and that's a thing in the film. Now the owl has a different name. Her name is Longclaw. I think it was actually like a dude in the old one. Hold on. Can I? Oh, goddammit. I haven't played Sonic 2 in probably like 15 years. Like relearning everything. I also feel like this emulator is chugging a little bit behind, but I don't know. This is the official emulator, the one you can get on Steam. We did consider trying to like play the mobile version, because that is the best version, but yeah, I guess that would have been what we played last when it released on mobile. We've been waiting for them to release it on something else, and they're doing that like later this year, the Sonic Origins collection. But yeah, so the second film is, funnily enough, more an adaptation of Sonic 3. Like, a loose adaptation, but it's more Sonic 3 than it is Sonic 2. You know? Like, it does include, you know, the first meeting between Sonic and Tails, so that's cool. But it deals far more with, like, you know, it has, like, you know, the Hidden Palace, and Knuckles, and Master Emerald, and, you know, Eggman tricking Knuckles into thinking Sonic and him should be opponents. So yeah, it's more an adaptation of Sonic 3 than it is an adaptation of Sonic 2. But I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like, it's not like the early Sonic games had that much story to adapt. So merging Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 into one story was probably a good call. The only other one we could see them maybe having merged to it would have been like Sonic CD. And who knows, that might be something they do in the future instead, you know? But on the whole, it's fun. If you like the first one, I think you'll like the second one. If you hated the first one, like you really couldn't stand its humor or its interpretation of Sonic lore, then I guess you won't care much for the second one either, because I mean, it is a film made by the same people, intentionally as a direct sequel, but we went to see it with another Sonic fan and two non-Sonic fans, and all four of us came out of it really loving it. So, you know, it should be satisfactory as long as you're not like really not the target audience. We'd say. What else can we talk about? This is like spoiler stuff. Jim Carrey again as Eggman was, or Robotnik was excellent. He goes more Jim Carrey this time around, and sometimes that doesn't work. There are moments in the film where like this doesn't feel like even the character in the films, Dr. Robotnik. It just feels like Jim Carrey thought this would be a fun thing to do. And sometimes those things work, sometimes they don't. There's one particular moment early on where like he throws himself onto like the hood of a car and like starts acting like a dog with rabies, and it was very absurd and didn't make much sense. But like, I guess it was supposed to signify that, you know, like he's, you know, been losing his mind in solitude. The film takes place a little less than a year after the first one. I think the actual time they say is like 274 days is how long Robotnik spent on the Mushroom Planet. So not sure where that thought was heading, actually, to be perfectly honest. But overall, his performance is fun. I do think it's good, and with the recent announcement that Jim Carrey might be retiring from acting, I am pretty cool with that being his final performance. Would I like him to come back as Robotnik in Sonic 3 or another future Sonic project? Yeah, I would. But if this is his final one, at least he got to go out, you know, playing the kind of absurd character he loves to play. He's been very vocal about how much he enjoyed playing Eggman, so I'm glad he got to do that. Agent Stone is back again, played by, hope I get the name right, it's Lee Mardu? Is that the name? I think that's the name. And I love him. Like, I think Agent Stone was like the biggest surprise for us in the first film, how much we ended up enjoying that character. It's just like this henchman, like incredibly loyal to. Oh, come on. Missed it. Incredibly loyal to Robotnik. Bordering on a crush, and of course, the fandom. Oh. Okay. The fandom was quick to make that into an explicit crush, which the actor has been very fond of indulging as well. Let's see. Tails was great. They didn't really do much, like, shall we say, they didn't really do anything controversial with it. Oh, come on. Tails was Tails. Like, you know, Tails was Tails, even played by the current video game Tails voice actress. But, like, yeah, Tails did fantastic. Knuckles, on the other hand. Now, Knuckles is amazing in this film. Like, Knuckles have kind of sucked lately in, like, what little media he gets to be in, because he's been played as this, you know, typical brawn over brain kind of. Oh, come on! I used to be good at this game. But he's typically played as this, you know, not very bright, easily fooled kind of character, and to a degree he should be. But they strike a really good balance, and what? But yeah, they strike a really good balance to where like he's like, no, he's not bright. He is, you know, easily fooled and not the smartest person, but he's not, you know, he's not this big buffoon that doesn't understand anything, like the Sonic Boom version of Knuckles was, for example. I do think, like, the backstory they give Knuckles, because they do, like, flesh out Knuckles' reasons for being opposed to Sonic in the film. They do flesh that out. I think they did a really good job with it, and apparently Idris Elba will be returning as Knuckles in, like, a series that I'm guessing will be on Paramount Plus, because it's Paramount that has the Sonic movie universe license thing. Not to be confused with the upcoming cartoon on Netflix. But they're doing a Knuckles series that will be exploring his life before the film, starring Idris Elba. And Idris Elba does fantastic. Like, I mean, I feel like no one was kind of doubting that he would do a great job, but he does. He does a really good job. It's a very different performance from, like, the Knuckles we've seen before. Like, it's much deeper and, like, gruffer, but it works. It works really well. In fact, I would probably say Idris Elba is the, like, in terms of the performance, that's the best part of the second film. Like, he just completely knocks it out of the park, and I really hope he will continue to play Knuckles for a long time, because he does really good, and he delivers, especially, like, when Knuckles do have those, like, less clever moments, you know? Like, he delivers those lines so well. But also, like, the more serious stuff as well. Like, he does a great job. They do make good use of, like, Tails being, like, this kind of gadget inventing smart kid, you know? I feel like maybe it could be used a little bit more than it was, because it does have a bit of a... Wait, didn't I just... Oh, okay, it was Tails that drowned. Okay, good. It does have a little bit of a... Oh no, they're in you know, they're in a situation that can't be solved just by Sonic running. What will they do? Oh, it's okay. Tails, you know, has a thing for it. They do that a few times, but it works. You know, it works. It's definitely like it's probably like the safest way to write that kind of smart, like a character who's like intelligence and like brightness is the main thing. I would have liked to see more of like Tails and Eggman going toe-to-toe on that though, because like Eggman is also, you know, this like super, like extremely smart person. Well, you know, he's supposed to be. And Tails, I'm not sure Tails and Eggman exchange words a single time in the film. So if there's one thing about like Tails' depiction that I wish would have been explored more, it's that. Like, it would have been cool to see them actually having like a battle of brains, you know? But at the same time, it's a Sonic film, and Tails is, you know, eternally going to be a sidekick first. And it's no shame in being a good sidekick, so that's okay. But if, you know, if they have Robotnik in another film, get on that, you know? Oh, what the fuck? Let's see, anything else for the performances? Oh yeah, so like, pretty much everyone from the first film returns, and that includes like the extended human cast. So like, Maddie, which is Tom's wife, Rachel, her sister, Jojo, who's her, the daughter of the sister, niece is the word. So Jojo is not in it a lot. She does less in this film than she did in the first one. So in the first one, no, she gave Sonic his shoes. That's like that's a key moment in the film, you know? But in the second film, she doesn't really do much at all. This film is... I will say that this film, much like the first one, utilizes a like typical stereotype that we feel probably is offensive in its use, but we're not sure. If that makes sense. Like, how do we put this to explain what we mean? There's... Oh, wow, okay. Hold on. Sorry about that. So, like, there are a couple of jokes that feel rooted in potentially offensive stereotypes, but we don't want to, like, speak for someone we're not, so we're going to, like, see how others react to that when the film is out first. Although one that we can speak to is, this film sort of is the first time in Sonic canon that we actually have some explicit queerness. And for the most part, we think it's handled well. But there's, in particular, one scene that felt like they went a little too far in like the typical aren't queer people, like, icky kind of way. And we'll get into what that is in the spoiler talk. But it's one of those things that, like, yeah, we didn't like that it was there. We do think it was a problem. At the same time, we see that in, like, so many films that we also can't single out Sonic 2 for it, if that makes sense. and again, we'll get to what they were when we talk spoilers. Anything else? Let's see. Oh yeah, so one thing that's interesting is that they go out of their way this time to make Robotnik. Robotnik is called Eggman more than he's called Robotnik in this one. He's still called both. It's still that his name is Robotnik and Eggman is his nickname. But like, I think like the first time we meet him in this one, he's called Eggman, and Sonic, like, if not exclusively, then very near exclusively. I lose the momentum there. Oh well. Calls him Eggman, and he leans into it. I mean, in the first film, he had egg-looking drones, and he made he made a remark about having an egg sack when he first revealed them. That was kind of it. In this one, he has like a literal. Oh no. He has like a literal like egg spaceship that just cat's whining outside the door. I don't know if you can hear or not. He has like an egg spaceship that just plops down, and this is really throwing us off. Why is the cat? Oh, because the door is closed. Of course, that'll be why. Oh, I don't like this one. Can I just know where to get rings here? No. Okay. I'm gonna die. Okay. Where was I? Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess I can talk about some stuff that's seen in the trailer. Actually, the trailer is surprisingly spoiler heavy. I mean, I guess it's not a spoiler since they expect you to know it, but like, the trailer has a surprising amount of late, like, scenes from late in the film. Then again, the first trailer for the first film literally had the post-credit scene in the trailer, so I guess it's something we just need to start accepting from these films. But, of course, in the trailer, you can see the Death Egg robot from Sonic 2. It's in this one. We loved how it was used in this one. We thought it was done really well, both visually and how it was used, like, story-wise. And, of course, you also see the Master Emerald. And, I think that's... oh yeah, and you see like that it's in a Sonic Adventure-esque shrine, albeit underground, not out in the open. All right. So with that, I think we can move on to spoiler talk. So let's just throw this up here so anyone who did I put it? Where did I put it? There. So anyone who drops by, see the spoiler warning. Okay, so we'll just go in order. The film starts on the Mushroom Planet, and it doesn't have a name, it's just the Mushroom Planet. Okay. Oh great, so there's visual glitches in the official SEGA emulator. That's That's nice. So it starts on a mushroom planet. It's just called the mushroom planet. They're still not calling it Mushroom Hill or anything like that. With Robotnik. And as I mentioned, he's been on the planet for, I think it's 470 something days. And he has figured out how to basically send a big like beacon using his tech to hopefully get someone to notice him and come to his rescue. And he does. He sends out the thing, and a ring portal opens, and two bird warriors, I think they were meant to be owls, given what's said later, but I'm not sure. The two owl warriors comes out, and he subdues them. And as he's about to pass through the portal, Knuckles arrives and asks him, like, where did you find that quill? Blue quill. And then we join back in Seattle, where a recreation of Sonic Adventure's first cutscene plays, which that was really cute. So like Sonic's on the rooftop watching like a police chase. In this case, it's some bank robbers, and he like jumps down and like basically tries to like stop the robbery, but ends up just causing more trouble. And it's setting up that he's trying to be a hero, but he's just causing problems. He's a kid, like it's typical story beats, very much like standard stuff for American family movie about heroes. But it's decent enough. There's also a nice little nod towards the Perfect Chaos cutscene at one point in that. But yeah, so he's told by Tom, that like oh no, you're a kid, like you can't just like a hero should care about others and not just themselves, and all those kind of typical things. And Sonic is like, you're my friend, not my dad. Like, the very typical, just kind of sappy setting up that Sonic has a lesson to learn in this film as well. And we're fine with that. We're fine with like some cliches, basic, like typical movie stuff. Because I mean, the Sonic games have never really been, shall we say, they've never like, Sonic games have always been full of cliches and typical narratives, and like they're not trying to be what they're not. And I do appreciate that the film is also just like it is what it is. I think it's good at what it does, so it's all fine. I'm not good at what I do though. I'm terrible. Okay, there we go. But basically we learned that Tom is going to Hawaii with Maddie because Maddie's sister is getting married, so Sonic will, have the house to himself for a couple of days, and that's when Eggman strikes. He arrives with Knuckles, and Knuckles just beats the shit out of Sonic. Like, just completely just destroys him. I'm so bad at this. Sonic only gets away because Tails ends up saving him. Like Tails comes in with a car and just fucking rams into Knuckles. So they escape, and Tails introduces himself basically as being like Sonic's fan. Like, Tails have been watching Sonic since the big shockwave he sent out in the first film. And apparently he's also been like tracking what's going on the Mushroom Planet, because he finds out that, you know, Knuckles is the Eggman and is coming to kill Sonic. So he goes to stop that. He goes to warn Sonic, but gets there after. And we like that at no point in this film do they do the classic, oh, because Sonic needs to learn to care for others, he pushes away Tails and is a bad friend, and Tails goes away and feels sad, and like they don't do anything like that. Like, no, like Sonic is overconfident and he thinks he has all the answers, but he's not an asshole, you know? Like he's a cool dude, and like even when Tails realizes that Sonic isn't, you know, as perfect as he's been imagining him, they're both still good pals, you know? Like they're just good buds, and there's no drama there. We do appreciate that. We were really worried it's gonna be another, you know, like, oh, I thought you were my friend, and then, you know, they split up and Tails gets kidnapped or something, and like, no, the closest you get to that actually is that at one point, like, things had gotten so dangerous that Tails, like, gets knocked out really badly. Like, he's unconscious, and Sonic feels really bad about, you know, having pulled Tails along on the adventure, so he runs off on his own to, you know, finish the adventure. He considers himself a failure as a hero, and doesn't want Tails to get hurt anymore. But again, that doesn't spawn any kind of conflict. It's literally just like, I mean, okay, it does spawn conflict, because obviously he goes to fight, but like, it doesn't spark a conflict between Sonic and Tails. And we do like that. We do like that they just get to be good friends from like the moment they meet, and yeah, they're like Sonic and Tails should be. They love each other. It's great. We love that. Once upon a time, and by that we mean many years ago, we were genuinely good at Sonic 2. It's the only 2D Sonic we like ever considered ourselves decent at, and now we're just useless at it. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, so basically they used the map that Long Claw gave Sonic, and they noticed that it has the Master Emerald in the corner. And this is true. This is accurate in the original film. In the first film, the Master Emerald is there. Now, there have been some changes to the map. We didn't notice them while watching the film, but we did go back and check the first film after getting back home. We decided to check, like, hold on, like, was that really there on the map in the first one? And there's some stuff that's changed. But the Master Emerald was there in the first one. And when they, like, rub across the Master Emerald, a message on the map, like a holographic message, plays. Like, you know, Leia's message from Star Wars kind of thing. Which we felt was a bit much. We don't think they needed to do that, because there's a moment later in the film that, like, they recount the tale of why, like, the owls and the echidnas were fighting, with a really cool, like, animated sequence. That could have fitted in that information as well. But no, the map can project holographic messages, apparently. It was a bit strange. But basically, it tells them that, like, the owls that were at war with the echidnas hid the Master Emerald on Earth. Well, it's funny you should say that, Georgina, because, like, in the first film, Sonic describes Longclaw as Obi-Wan Kenobi if Obi-Wan Kenobi had a beak and ate mice. But they explained that, like, basically the Master Emerald was a weapon forged from the 7 Chaos Emeralds. with the power to turn will or thoughts into reality. So that's the basic gist of how they describe the Master Emerald's power. The owls and other animals, I think they say like an alliance of like, I forget how many tribes they say, but like an alliance of some of the animals like basically decided, no, this is too dangerous, we cannot let them have this, and so they had this coup, and then they stole the emerald and they hid it on Earth, and that was why the Echidnas were after Longclaw and Sonic in the first film. Well, they wanted Sonic in partially because of his, power being useful in battle, but also like they had a beef with Longclaw as well. And Knuckles, of course, being a part of being an Echidna, he's looking for the Master Emerald now, and also he has a personal beef with Sonic because on the day that they went to Earth in the first film, the opening scene of the first Sonic film, when the Echidnas attacked Longclaw, Knuckles' father was with them, and he died. So, like, as Sonic points out, they both lost someone important that day. They both lost their parental figure the same day. Why are there no rings here? It's a boss arena after a checkpoint. How the fuck are you Hold on, can I? There's gotta be rings back here somewhere. Okay, good. Okay, so where were we? So Knuckles and Sonic both lost their parents that day, basically. But yeah, that's why, like, when Knuckles saw the quill, he wanted to know where Sonic was, and that's how he got to Earth. And they find out that there's a compass that leads to the hidden palace where the Master Emerald is kept. So it's a typical, we need to get a MacGuffin to get to the other MacGuffin thing. Very Rise of Skywalker, except, it works here because there's a reason one of the things exists. Unlike a particular fucking dagger in that awful film. But okay, so like they find out that like the compass they need is in Siberia, and so they use a ring to get there, and there's basically this movie's version of the bar fight scene, which is actually a dance-off in a Siberian inn. And it's a fun little scene, and Tails shows off that he has like the ability to project holograms of himself, like that mimic his movements. So like he becomes Sonic's backup dancer, basically. Just walking into those. And of course, like, that is only there so that we can use it later on, of course. It's very, very basic setup for a later use, of course. But it's a fun scene. If there's one thing, though, about those scenes, and we kind of felt this way about the first film as well, the film makes a lot of use of, like, pop music. And to a degree, we understand that, this fits because Sonic as a character is supposed to, be, contemporary, interested in contemporary pop culture himself. Like, he's supposed to be a kid raised on, what's popular. But we do feel like they rely a little much on pop music at times, where, like, it would have been really fun, for example, if, like, when they put on the song for, like, the dance-off, it's, a song from one of the Sonic games, I'm not sure what song would have fit there, but, there were plenty of, like dance songs in, like, the Sonic Riders soundtrack, for example. Like, I feel like they could have done something like that to make it a little more, you know, uniquely Sonic, but oh well. But to get to like this like Owl Temple in Siberia, and of course Eggman's there, Knuckles is there. Oh, did almost forget. So yeah, the queer moment. So we mentioned that in the first film, after the first film, that Agent Stone was interpreted by fans to have a crush on Robotnik. Or further, if you... depending on what kind of fan you are, of course. And the actor has been very fond of this. The actor has been, you know, constantly sharing like couple fan art, shipping fan art of Agent Stone and Robotnik ever since the first film came out. And in this film, it's made explicit. In this film, it's made explicit that Agent Stone is in love with Dr. Robotnik. And we thought that was cute. Now, it does have some problems to it. I mean, for starters, he is an evil henchman kind of character. It's a bit like when Disney decided LeFou got to be gay, explicitly gay, even though he was even less so than Agent Stone ends up being. But, you know, it's still there, and it's based on something that fans interpreted within the character, and that the actor was a fan of, so we do think it's a very cool thing. It's not often you get... It's fucking bad at this game. It's not often you get to see like fanships that just kind of were never intended end up being true like that. It was neat. Although that also comes into like the stereotype stuff we talked about earlier. Like, I mean, Agent Stone has this thing where he's like not constantly effeminate, but he is more effeminate in the second film than he is in the first film, and that on its own is fine. Like, you know, there's plenty of effeminate gay men, and there should. I'm not saying there shouldn't be any, but you know, like it is still that kind of thing. Like when you see like the first queer character in something, and they're an effeminate gay man, it still sets off some warning flags. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? And there's also like a gag where like he's trying to pick out a new outfit for Dr. Robotnik, and he's like cycling through a few ones, including like the classic, you know, Dr. Eggman outfit from the Mega Drive games, and a maid outfit, and it's like I don't know, it just felt a little much to have that he has, you know, images of Dr. Eggman in drag on his personal computer. Was a bit, like, that was a little much in our opinion. But apart from that, we thought it was handled really well, and he is pretty much guaranteed to appear in the next film as well, and we have a theory about that we'll get to when we get to the very end of the film. Yeah, so basically they stop by the Mean Bean coffee shop, which is actually Agent Stone's new shop. That is also a front, so that when Dr. Robotnik comes back, it can become a base of operations. And it has the funniest joke in the entire film. So, the funniest joke in the entire film, in my opinion, is when Agent Stone gets a text message that Robotnik is back. He decides to close up the shop. So he ushers everyone out, and it's like, I'm closing, I need to close early, like, get out. And he flips the open sign to closed, and then it pans down, and it says, it's like this establishment has been rated A+ for like great blah blah blah, and he removes that slip of paper, so it says this establishment has been rated F, so no one will come here. And it's like It's such a simple gag, but it literally like just made us like loudly crack up more than any other gag in the film. We loved that gag. That is that is so our kind of humor, and we just loved it. I'm not sure where I'm going. Okay. But yeah, that was really funny. But yeah, so Robotnik arrives and Knuckles is there, and Agent Stone's a little jealous that Eggman has a new friend. But they don't make a big deal out of it. Like, they just kind of move on from it. Is this really the right way? I don't think this is the right way. God, labyrinth stages are always the most annoying one. Oh, come on, does this mean I can't? Oh, it works, okay. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. Does it come back? No. Okay. Really? How much further do I have to go? I have to go down? Ugh. Better be a checkpoint here somewhere. Oh, there. Good. Oh! I hate Mystic Cave sound. No! Where was I? Oh yeah, so like they track where oh wait, I'm gonna get crushed. They track where Tails and Sonic are in Siberia, and oh my god, why can't I do any jumping right? They track where Sonic and Tails were in Siberia, and they go there. So they intercept them at the Owl Temple place thingy. And that's where the big meme image of Tails with laser sights on his face comes from. You know, they have this big snowboard set piece. It's the first... No, it's the second set piece, actually, because the first one is like the one where Tails smashes a car into Knuckles that we mentioned earlier. But it's this big set piece, it's a good one, it's a fun little snowboard scene, and of course it's very evocative of, you know, Sonic 3 or Sonic Adventure. Sonic 06, if you will. And it ends with oh wait, was I supposed to go this way? Oh. That makes the death earlier even more aggravating. I hate these. I really hate these. Okay. Yeah, so Knuckles and Eggman gets the compass, which, as mentioned, will like lead to the Hidden Palace with the Master Emerald. This is also when they crash in on the wedding in Hawaii, bringing an entire blizzard there. And this is where the big surprise for us happened. Because it turns out that the man that Rachel was about to marry is an undercover agent for GUN. Gun. They brought in Gun into the Sonic movie canon. So Gun captures Sonic and Tails, and it's up to Maddie and Rachel. What is with the fucking checkpoint placements in this game? You get 0 rings for the fucking... when you leave a special stage, and they put them in, when there's no more rings in front... Okay, hold on. I need to go look up the level select code, because I'm not doing that again. I don't remember it by heart anymore. Okay. 1965 09 17. Oh, hold on. Oh, wait, what? Wait, hold on. How do I start playing it? Is it with start? No. B, okay. And it's 65 next. Why can't you scroll fast through it? And then 09. If I just go around. Yeah. Okay. How is it now? Do I have to press first player or... Yeah, probably. What? No! What? The sound effect was there. This correct, but here's sound effect. Press start. What? How do I reset? I really don't like this emulator. I want to say that. Oh, come on. How do I... Why is it so annoying? There. She just gone with her unofficial emulator instead. What was it? 65 09 17. Oh, sorry. Hold A and press start. Okay. There we go. And oops. This is the stage we were on, right? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, no, GUN is in the film. It turns out that they've been tracking Sonic and Tails. Well, Sonic and now Tails, I guess. I mean, they've been tracking Sonic. But it's like, so they set up basically a convoluted plan to catch Sonic, based on what happened in the first film. In fact, GUN is led by like the military dude from the first film that like recommended using Robotnik to investigate the disturbance, and who had the whole like Olive Garden thing at the end of the first one. Oh yeah, the strange product placement is back in this one. Like, it's including Olive Garden. It's like very strange, some of the ways that they incorporate the Alright, placement. I fucking hate this. I've said in the past, if you've ever watched like any of our 3D Sonic playthroughs, we've mentioned many times that we don't like 2D platformers. Oh well. Yeah, so DU ends in this, and it's up to Rachel and Maddie to save Sonic and Tails. And they do, of course. And they use Tails' gadget for that. Then, you know, they get to the Hidden Palace, and Eggman gets hold of the Master Emerald and becomes Super Robotnik, I guess would be the best way to put it. They don't call him Super Robotnik, but that's what he is. A Robotnik infused with the power of the Master Emerald. And he actually uses part of the incantation from... alright, we have to do the emeralds all over again now. He uses part of the incantation from the adventure games. The servers are the 7 chaos. Chaos is power, power enriched by the heart. The control is the one who unifies the chaos. He only uses chaos as power, but still, it was a nice little homage. And he becomes a Master Emerald powered Eggman, who is scary as hell. Like you see a shot of him in the trailer, like he's like black and green, and like flying, but like no, before that, he starts teleporting while like coming to terms with his new like godlike powers, and it is fucking creepy. It is really creepy. They did like it really like contrasts with how goofy he's been in the film up to that point. And maybe that's why they allowed Jim Carrey to let loose even more before that, this time around, because the contrast to when he just goes super mode is big. But he goes, he becomes super powered, and he uses like all the tanks and stuff that the gun brought, as well as like train and other mechanical things, like everything around him. He like uses those to build the Death Egg robot from Sonic 2 to fight Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. And at this point, of course, like after realizing that Eggman betrayed him, and Sonic saved Knuckles' life, Knuckles has realized that, you know, Sonic isn't so bad, and they bond, and they take on Eggman together. But of course, they can't really do much without getting the Master Emerald back. And they do get the Master Emerald back, of course. Like they literally knock it out of Eggman. And I'm not sure about the direction here. Okay, yeah. They knock it out of Eggman. Like they provide a distraction, and like Knuckles like hits it out of him, and so and it actually like it hits the ground and shatters. Now, if you remember what we said earlier, in this version of the story, the Master Emerald is forged from the 7 Chaos Emeralds. So it shatters into the 7 Chaos Emeralds that Sonic then acquires and becomes Super as well, just like Eggman before him. He becomes Super Sonic. And we get a fight between Super Sonic and the Death Egg robot, which is funny because you cannot actually turn into Super Sonic when you fight the Death Egg robot because there aren't enough rings. I don't think there Are there any rings in the FX Zone? I don't think there is. Maybe 3 or something at the start. But yeah. But yeah. So yeah, Supersonic. Supersonic is in this film, and it's cool. It's a really cool scene. Yeah, they defeat Eggman. He falls together with the Death Egg robot. They never find the body, so you know it's left vague whether he's dead or just missing. And that's what we mean when we said earlier that like if Jim Carrey comes back, like we don't know yet. Like he might, but he has said that he apparently wants to retire from acting. So that gives them an easy way to just leave it open for now. But someone who is still alive is Agent Stone, who has actually escaped being captured by disguising himself as a gun agent. Now that might not seem like much, but you know what game Gun is from? Sonic Adventure 2. Remember what they do in Sonic Adventure 2? Yeah, so the final scene of the film, they mention that they've uncovered what they thought was lost laboratory that hasn't been mentioned in records for over 50 years. Project Shadow. So the implication of the ending is that Agent Stone will take Eggman's role in Sonic Adventure 2 and release Shadow as revenge for what befell Robotnik and possibly his grandfather if they go with the exact same story. But yeah, Sonic 3 is bringing in Shadow. A lot of people thought Metal Sonic. I thought Metal Sonic. In fact, when we were talking about this with a friend yesterday, before when we rewatched the first film, we noted we were like, oh yeah, they actually announced the third Sonic film already. Although we don't know much about it, but they did show the logo, and fans have been speculating what that could mean because you know we had Tails' Tails in the second film's logo. And the third film's logo is just a red 3. So we were like, that seems like it could be... Fuck. What? That seems like it could be Metal Sonic, because Metal Sonic's eye is red, you know? And our friend was like, could be Shadow. Like, because the 3 is black and red, technically, so it could be Shadow. We were like, yeah, but then they had to, like, you know, establish some kind of, like, 50-year legacy going back and stuff, and, like, because, like, fans probably don't want, like, a Shadow that isn't, you know, based on the story from the games, because that is one of the most beloved stories in the series, you know? And then the moment the film introduces Gun, we're sitting there like, oh shit. Oh shit. They're actually doing it, aren't they? And it's funny, because, like, before we went into the cinema, there was a kid who left the theater from the Swedish dubbed version. We saw the premiere for the English version, which premiered afterwards. But it was a kid that was leaving the Swedish dubbed version, and they were talking about Shadow. It seemed to be like general talk, so we weren't sure if they just like spoiled it at the time, or if they were just like speculating on like what might happen in a future film, because they were just talking about how like they really like Shadow and they want to see Shadow in the next one and stuff like that. So it could have mean anything. But we were like, no, they're not gonna adapt Sonic Adventure 2 next, are they? I mean, that would be really cool, but no, they're probably gonna stick to like classic stuff for a little bit longer, because that's what people have been. That's what's considered the good Sonic, and even though there are some adventure stuff in these films, for the most part they are reinterpretations of the original trilogy of games. It's probably just gonna be like a Sonic CD thing next. But no, it's Sonic Adventure 2. The next film is based on Sonic Adventure 2, and we are so here for it. I can't do anything in this game. Oh no, can we just go back to the level select without having to do the coding again? I don't remember. Yes, we can. Okay, cool. Let's just continue. But yeah, we are super excited to see them take on Sonic Adventure 2. One of our favorites. We think they did a really good job mixing Sonic Adventure, Sonic 2 and 3 for this one. We would have liked to see the Death Egg. We kind of thought we were gonna see the Death Egg when like it appeared that like, because like in the trailer, the trailer made it look as if Eggman would be descending from space to Earth, like he had somehow like built like some kind of spaceship while he was away or something. But no, like he goes there. He goes back through a ring portal, and the egg spaceship is actually like a separate thing. But apart from that, I feel like they pretty much covered it. Like we've been thinking about this, right? Like what could they have done to make it better? Like the Death Egg could have been fun, especially if we're not getting another portrayal of Robotnik. I don't remember what to do here. Wait. Seriously? Oh. I thought that button was already pressed for some reason. Angel Island would have been cool. We kind of hoped Angel Island would show up, but I guess it still can. They do restore the Master Emerald at the end, so Knuckles is now protecting the Master Emerald with the promise of like, oh, like we will not let this fall into, the wrong hands. And oh. How did I... Okay, so like seriously, as a kid, how did I like have enough patience to get through this? Maybe it's that because I've not been playing platformers for forever. Maybe that's just why I'm so bad, but like, wow. Where were we? Yeah, so Angel Island, I don't know, maybe they'll still introduce it again. I do... So one issue I do have with both these films is they're very boy heavy. And like, we know that's a general thing with the Sonic franchise. But like, I really hope we get like a major female character that's an animal in the next one. If they do Amy, I would love Amy. Amy is one of my favorites. My actual favorite is Blaze. But like, if they do Amy, that'd be great. But I hope that if they do Amy, that they don't go too hard on the obsessive stalker thing. As much like Knuckles, I feel like Amy is very easy to do too much of when it comes to her worst traits. But seeing how well they handle Knuckles in this, I do have faith in them. Let's see. But Rouge the Bat, of course. If we're doing Sonic Adventure 2, it would make sense. Hold on. There we go. It would make sense to do Rouge to Bat. I mean, who doesn't want to do Rouge to Bat, right? No. Especially like if they do the whole Gerald thing, and they like if they go all the way, like they bring in Gerald Robotnik's past and like Maria Robotnik and such, then you know that just means we're gonna have another female character who, you know, don't get me wrong, love Maria Robotnik, but her purpose is to get shot and killed so that Shadow will be sad. So it would be nice to have a main female character that has her own. What the fuck? Getting real tired of this. It's the same one as before. But yeah, so Rouge naming would be nice. Let's move on for the third film. Not sure. Like, the films work, being these kind of like they're, I mean, they're adventure films, but they're not necessarily the most we were gonna call them low-key adventure films, but like that might be a little unfair, at least to the second one. The first one, yes, the first one was just a road trip movie, but like we don't mind them sticking to this scale, if that makes sense. Like, so they've done a good job of like maintaining the scale of like the set pieces, you know, like they place on Earth for the most part, but they managed to like weave in enough of like classic Sonic level design to where it's fun and familiar, but also feeling mostly rooted in reality, you know? And it might seem like an odd thing to want out of these films, but as someone who's always been more fond of, you know, Sonic taking place on an Earth-like world, you know, being like particularly fond of the adventure games, we do enjoy seeing that here. In fact, I think what we said on Twitter right after coming out of the theater, we said oh my god, I hate this. I will blame some of our poor playing on the emulator, because this emulator is trash, and we do wish we hadn't used the official emulator. The rest is entirely our lack of skill. Where were we? Oh yeah, we said that this was like the most fun we've had with Sonic, like our favorite Sonic thing in 15 years. And we didn't just pick like a number at random there. Although we did misspeak. Or mistype, guess. Cause we said 15 years, but then we actually thought on it again, we meant 14 years. Although maybe not. Maybe we should have been... Maybe we should stick to 15. I don't know. The point was, we were thinking since Sonic Unleashed is the thing. Because Sonic Unleashed is like the last like Sonic game that we like loved. Right? It had bad parts to it, every Sonic game does. But we loved Sonic Unleashed. And ever since Sonic Unleashed, which I believe Sonic Unleashed was kind of a financial flop. It was certainly a critical flop, but that hasn't stopped Sega ever. But I think it must have been a financial flop, because after that, Sega very much changed their approach to Sonic's world building. Like, it was no longer set on, like, you know, worlds full of humans, and it was less focused on, like, you know, a larger scale world building and narratives. And, you know, for some people that's great. That's what some people want the series to be. But for us, we've wanted that sort of adventure era that sort of ended with Unleashed. We wanted that to come back. And this film, the second Sonic movie, really does nail that feel, in our opinion. And I would probably say that right now we enjoy that movie's universe more than the Prime Sonic universe, which we haven't really enjoyed much since, yeah, Unleashed, basically. I mean, Forces was fine. It wasn't great. It had great moments, but it wasn't like... It wasn't the game it had the potential to be. Because it was kind of a game that was too concerned with being Sonic Generations 2, which is really funny because that was like the one thing Iizuka, the producer for the Sonic series, like specified early on. Like, this is not gonna be like a Generations 2, but it really was. But I don't remember what we were gonna say there. But the second film has very much the adventure feel. It's a good mix of like different locales and like interesting world building without getting too hung up on like lore writing. That's been you know, as soon as I did that spin dash, the moment we did it, we realized, wait, no. This is not something we're supposed to do on this one. Why are the turtles riding bigger turtles anyway? Okay, so where were we? We were on... oh yeah, the Sonic Adventure field. Like, it's there. It's cool. So let's see. It covers the end of the film. It covers the mid-credit scene and our speculation for the next one. I do wonder. I do genuinely wonder, like, who's going to play Shadow? Because we do get to see Shadow in the final shot of the film. Not all of him. Not all of him, but, like, we see him in the Stacy chamber, and then we get a close-up on his eyes as he opens them. Which is probably a fake-out scene. I mean, you know, the Tails post-credit scene of the first film is literally... It happens again in the second film, but with some changes. Like, it's technically the same scene, but, like, they gave Tails a backpack and changed his flying animation. Which is like, okay. But it's a fun film. If you like the first one, you probably like the second one. It's a good mix of Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 stuff, while also doing an original spin on the lore. Oh yeah! Can't believe this. Can't fucking believe this. Like, what the fuck? We beat this as a kid. How the fuck did we beat this as a kid? Yeah, there were no rings. You were right. So yeah, okay. Where the fuck were we? Yeah, we do wonder who's gonna play Shadow. Because we do hope that it's, you know, a voice actor. We're not fond of the trend of casting screen actors. We're not fond of the trend of casting screen actors as digital characters. It can work. It did work really well with Idris Elba. Fuck this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to blame the emulator. We do wonder who's going to play Shadow, because, like, that's an important role. And now we know it's coming. So, yeah. I think that concludes our main thoughts on the Sonic film. We liked it a lot. We really, really liked it. We're probably gonna watch it again. Yeah, go watch it. It comes out in like a week in the US. For once, Europe gets something early. That's nice. Well, it's nice for us. But yeah. We know that the film leaked online, like last night. So we're sure there's plenty of spoilers already about the post-credit scene and all that stuff. We can't wait for the film to actually be out everywhere for people who have seen it, so that we can talk about what's happening for the third film outside of a spoiler warning thing like this. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and we really should be going to bed because it's like almost 2 AM and we got our booster shot today and we have a migraine, so we really should just get on with that. Thank you for watching, and go see the Sonic film if you like the first one. If you didn't like the first one, maybe wait, see what other people say about the second one. But we liked them, so